Being self-taught has its perks. You get to decide the time, the things you want to learn. Nobody tells you what to do. There's no assignment. A dream. Is it? Hello there, good people. Welcome. My name is Marco and I'm a full-stack developer. And to be specific, I am a self-taught full-stack developer. And today I wanted to share with you some of the things that I've learned being a self-taught programmer. Because you gotta know, it's not all shining and nice. There is a lot of satisfaction for sure, but also there are many things that along the road might put you off and make you change your mind. Well, if you're watching this, don't. Keep going. Trust me, the road ahead is hard, but it's worth it. By the way, let me know in the comments below what it means for you to being a self-taught programmer and what it meant for you to start from zero without any aid to now, being a developer if you are. Now let's discuss a little bit more about this. Being a self-taught programmer doesn't really give you a structure. Something like, what should I learn first? Like a hierarchy of things. What is important? Maybe should I learn SQL? Maybe skip it. Now there are courses online that are very well structured. You basically don't have to think about anything. But if you rely too much on external sources, you run the risk to become dependent. And it is paramount that you develop a sort of independency when it comes to learning, that you can handle and manage things whatever they are. Because if you always wait for courses and tutorials to give you an idea for a project, your project won't be very creative because basically all the people who follow that course, well, they have it. So here comes the question. How could I stand out? See, this is already a problem, standing out. At university, you might get to know several other students and cooperate with them on a project that is fairly complex. And if you notice, in this example lies a piece of the answer, and that is cooperation. You gotta find people. I've made this mistake when I started. Just because you're learning on your own, it doesn't mean that it has to be a one-man show. Reach out, look for people, look for a community. There is plenty nowadays. You can look for Discord, the Slack communities, you can look meetups on Reddit if you want. If you look for them, there is plenty. Another big battle for self-taught is getting your first job. Of course, it depends on where you are in the world. In certain places it's easier than others. But almost everywhere you need to pass that agonizing phase of sending application and then hopefully getting called back. When you do that, you know that your CV is really not that great when you start, of course. And that becomes harder for self-taught. But this is also the reason why, as far as I'm concerned, all these self-taught programmers that I have met were more prepared and passionate than computer science students. Of course we're more committed, we must show more. We have a big disadvantage on our resume and we must make up to it somehow. But this is the great thing, think about it, transforming a disadvantage into strength. Students might feel like they got nothing to prove, there is their degree for that. But not us. Self-taught know they must come out on top somehow. And it usually takes the form of a kick-ass portfolio. So another tip right here, work religiously on your portfolio so that you have something to show. And believe me, that helps with imposter syndrome as well. Because you're not just saying, I know this language. I'm showing you what I've done with it. That's super powerful. Not to mention internship. Now that's a big one and it's a very big advantage for computer science students or university students in general. Imagine being a 20-year-old student working at Microsoft or Bank of America for the summer. As self-taught, internship would mean a lot, but we don't get to see them. We are supposed to jump from computer noob to fully grown developer. And sometimes for junior developers as well. I've seen job advertisements for junior positions that required at least 2 years of experience and almost 4 to 5 languages. Sometimes the bar is super high. And some of these companies think they are the next Google or Amazon and find it reasonable to question you about algorithms. You got to know 5 different languages. Big tip right here. If you see a job advertisement for a junior role that requires more than 4 languages, skip it. Junior is just the pay, not the workload. And also networking. It is very important, and for students it comes easier when you have a professor with decades of experience in the industry who knows a guy who knows another guy. For us self-taught, learning how to networking is paramount because the chance of you stumbling accidentally upon the perfect job is very low. Speaking of networking, if you like this video, well then leave a like and share so that more people can see it. See what I did there? One last thing is motivation. It sucks, I know, especially at the beginning when you're learning to print hello world in 7 different languages and just writing to-do apps. It can be frustrating when you're comparing with another guy who's talking about things you don't even understand. I had this feeling when I heard people talking about Docker and Kubernetes or message queues. And I remember I said to myself, I'm not good enough, okay? I don't know this stuff, I'm not good. But the reality was that I had just started. And also, working at companies can speed up the process because now you get exposed to more complex and difficult things and concepts and technologies. So even if at the beginning you feel overwhelmed with information and frustration, don't give up. Just keep going. Get into the habit of coding a few hours a day, every day, and with time and patience, you'll get to be a great developer. And you might also get exposed naturally to certain topics, because once you increase the level of your projects and your learning, you'll get exposed to increasingly difficult concepts. When you finally decide to deploy your app, for instance, or your website, there is where you might hear about Docker. And so you'll be like, Docker? What is that? I like to see that. So don't despair and keep going. We've all been there, and as far as I'm concerned, knowing that my struggles are also other people's struggles helped me to get through it. Feeling I'm not the only one made me cope with what I was experiencing at the time. And looking back at it right now, I don't regret it one bit. I was right, and I love being right. Okay, this is all. I really hope that if you're learning how to code, you're at the beginning of this amazing journey, you keep going, and that somehow this video helped you out. If you'd like to help this channel, then don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one. Thank you very much for watching. As always, stay tuned for more, and bye bye.